Hi, I'm David, and here's how I animated these pumpkins. This is my After Effects composition. Before I even get into this, what I will need to show you is how this was filmed. First of all, got this idea from Kevin Perry. Kevin Perry did this video a year ago for last Halloween 2019, I think, or maybe 2018, where he animated a pumpkin, but he did it through with 40 pumpkins. I thought that was cool. And then for work, they thought it would be cool to do the same thing. So this was my take on it. This is basically the setup right here, right? I just had one of those science fair trifolds, and I put some blue construction paper on it. I set up the video camera, and I basically did a time lapse. Instead of doing the traditional way, set it up, take a picture, go to the next step, like right here or whatever, take a picture, go to the next step, take a picture. I didn't have a photo camera, which I wish I did. My bootleg way was to literally just do a time lapse. If I just scroll, you'll see it's just recording the whole time for 3 hours or whatever, and we're moving out of the way after each step. So if I just scroll, here it is. And so when you put it together, it actually looks like it's moving, right? It's the same thing with stop motion. It's the same concept, except for it's a time, it's a video camera, right? So, but also we had a cool little flexibility with making it a time lapse also. But basically, if I literally just played, right, this was this first step, and you can see that's me picking something off, but when I move out of the way, this is the frame we're taking the still from. This is it right here. Same thing with Kevin Perry. He did a night version of whatever the heck he was doing. I thought it would be cool to do the same thing. So we did. I put lights into the pumpkin, and this is for every step, every single time we move out of the way. We got night versions also. So then we turned off the light setup, and then we just had it roll, and then we would just take a frame from this. I put this, just the whole footage, right? Put it into Premiere. I made another comp so I could go and get the frames, just like you would do with actual stop motion, right? If I showed you right here, I'm oh, here it is. Okay, let's skip. Oh, this is skip forward, let's skip forward, skip forward. Oh, here's a frame. Bam. That's one frame. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next frame. Okay, I moved out of the way. That means that's another step. Bam. Right? And I did this for all of them, right? Just so I can get the whole thing. Then you end up getting a comp like this. So you get all the frames, you put them together, and then it moves. You know what I'm saying? And then here's a night version. Because for all those steps, I turned off the light, putting lights inside the actual pumpkin, and then it moves. Where's my After Effects comp? Let me give you a little tour. What made it easier, right? What made it all this easier? I did this in Premiere first. I got all the steps. I imported. You can import Premiere project sequences, and then it ends up just recreating that editing for you. So that's what you're seeing right now. That is what this comp is. So you key it out. I put in a shadow on the bottom because it's gonna come in contact with the ground. See some blue coloring on the edges. So that's what we call spill. So what you want to do is combat that as much as you can. So put some curves on it, combat it some more. You see there's barely any blue. Now it just looks like gray fill, and I thought that was fine. Put some more coloring on it, brighten it up. Then Gaussian blur. What is that blurring? That's blurring the background, or the top, to make it blend with the background. In the background, I feel is in my opinion, that's the pretty part. But what I ended up using it for was just oh, I like this brick asset, and it looks like steps. Let me put it in the background, and then fill that out just so I can get a brick door type look. And I also like these pumpkins right here too, because it goes with the season. I just needed a sidewalk asset. So that's what this is. And then once you literally just mask it out, just make it look like a sidewalk type of angle, then you got it. Now it looks kind of janky. I feel like that's where the color correction comes in, because I feel like that really sells it. And then once you put the pumpkin in, which is the centerpiece, bam. And also don't forget the shadows on the bottom to blend it in a little more. Cut out this leaf right here just to make it look like it was in front of this, just to add some depth. I feel like that actually sold it a lot. So it's not just oh, I just pasted this on top. Now that this is on top of that, it kind of pastes that into the scene, and then you make everything uniformly colored, and then you got the comp. Here's what the final animation animation looks like. And so this was like and this is where it got kind of annoying, because I thought one effect that would be cool is the lightning, which is where the night version of this comes in. So not only do we have to do a day version of this comp, but we had to do a night version of this comp. So everything's the same. Really what changed, if you go into, if we want to go into, let's say the Vote Pumpkin, we just use the dark parts, right? And then we change the color correcting. I use Red Giant's Magic Bullet looks, and then just use a LUT. And then for like lightning, since it's lightning and it kind of glows and balloons, added some glows and levels. So I just put wiggle on the opacity and then just had it and just like made it come in short bursts. And it's also really sporadic. What I think instantly sells this, or like cherry on the top, is just putting a little lightning sound effect. For this one, I just used a longer shot. I think a longer shot of the sidewalk, and then just put all 3 pumpkins on there. For loops, basically the whole concept of looping is it has to end the same way it begins, you know, and like it literally has to look the same as the first frame. So at the end, you just have to figure out what transition can you go from the ending, the true ending, which is this, because the original comp just ends on this, right? And then how can it go from that to the first? So basically I use lightning to transition from these 2 shots, and then it literally ends on the day no carved first step. And so it literally, if I go to the beginning of the comp and the end of it, it'll be the same. So that's basically the concept of a loop. And here's how the video turned out.
Could you imagine if I lose?
That's basically it. That's how I animated these pumpkins for this Halloween to promote the website iwillvote.com. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys learned something. Hopefully I explained my whole process well. I'll be sure to make more videos like this just to show a little bit more of how I do these creative projects. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.